Despite interest rates being up about 0.75% since the war started, we've actually had a very busy week, and people always need to buy, people always need to sell. And so this week we did have 2 closings. We had 2 homes that went under contract. And so a lot of interesting stories, of course. I'm Eric Peterson, broker at Kopa Real Estate. I'm here in our newest listing over here in Heritage Oaks, adjacent to Avery Ranch. We've got all of our staging furniture here, and we're ready to go make this one live. Hope to have a huge open house this weekend. A couple stories from our sales this week, our closings this week. One is that you may have heard that the number of cancellations is an all-time high. And a lot of people are blaming the sellers, but that's not really always the case. We had a home that was under contract, and during the inspection period, the buyers got spooked by the inspector over something that's not a big deal, and they wanted to reduce the price by $40,000. Of course, it was a non-starter, and best thing that we could do is tell the buyer agent to send over a termination notice. And Joyce had the house under contract again 2 days later. It's an important story because you're never going to feel pressure from us to accept something like $40,000 less just because the house is under contract. The sellers asked me, is this typical? Is this thing that the inspectors are bringing up? Is this typically a deal killer? And no, it's not. We were able to move forward to another buyer, and somebody else is going to enjoy living in that incredible house. The second is an important story about pricing real estate. Sellers are often worried about reacting to the market and reducing a price, because they're afraid that that's going to be an indication that they're desperate and all of a sudden they're going to get some super low ball offer. And I always say that you're better off listening to the market and then staying firm at that price. And I'd rather see you turn down 2 or 3 offers than get no offer at all. So we had a home on the market, $725, and we were getting tons of showings. This is that friend zone thing that I talk about, but nobody was making an offer, and it was at $680. And the sellers had rejected the offer, didn't even want to make a counter offer. And then about a week later, they came back to me and said, is that $680 offer, are they still interested? And I said, well, I'll find out. But while we do that, my recommendation is that we should reduce the price to $699.9. And of course, they kind of pushed back and they said, well, we don't want to be desperate, right? So they got desperate because they didn't want to look desperate. And same kind of thing. I said, you're better off doing that and rejecting an offer than not getting any offer at all. Or my professional opinion is that there was a buyer somewhere in between that higher than the $680. So we did make the price change on Friday, had a showing automatically set up then for Saturday after we changed the price. We got a full price offer on Sunday, and then just closed the house this week. So successful sale. If we had stuck at that $725 price, I don't think the house would probably still be on the market, or the sellers would have accepted a $680 offer or maybe even less. So that's really important for you to understand about pricing and any time that we give somebody advice about that. Well, thanks so much for watching. Make it a great day, and we really appreciate your support.